What's up, guys? Good morning. Can you guess where we're at today? That's right, back at the old equestrian ranch. And this is the aluminum job I showed you guys. I'm going to get you a better look at it. It's real early in the morning, so the sun's way over there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hinges on the back of this trailer that I have to fix, and every one of the welds are shit. Now, you can tell the difference in the welds done at the factory inside a building, TIG, of course. They even walked the cup on some, look like. But these welds are absolutely horrendous. Alright guys, look at that. So, I tried to show y'all this last time I was here because I knew it was coming up. But look at all the porosity inside those welds. Now, he told me the trailer place, and look, that one's been grinded on the top there. Now look. A grinder and paint didn't help this fella. Look at all that porosity. Now I was nervous about coming and doing this because it's been a while since I've even, done anything aluminum, but god dang, I know for a fact I can do better than that. And I told the guy, obviously you can see the trailer welds were tigged on there from before, right here, and you can see where they walked the cup right there. But that right there is just shameful. I wouldn't have put that out. I wouldn't have let that go at all. They said they had to call somebody in because they didn't do aluminum. So it seems to me that they called the wrong fella. Because that looks horrible. I mean, nothing against that guy. I mean, I don't know what his circumstances were or whatnot. But honestly, dudes, if you can't do it, don't do it. So obviously I'm going to grind it off. Not with a grinder. I'm going to use I may have to use a grinder for some of it, but I'm going to use a flap disc. The main reason I use flap disc mostly on aluminum is because most flap disc, unless you're using what they call a zirc pad, that's cubic zirconium, but most of it is aluminum oxide. So you're just taking aluminum off with aluminum. In my mind, that's better than whatever the grinder's made out of. And then of course I'll clean it with some acetone. I brought some acetone with me. Now the one thing I did forget is my propane torch to preheat. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to start where there's any kind of critical, on the corners and stuff like that. I'm going to start in the middle, so that way, the corners are going to get the heat and the good melted in weld. But I'll show you guys all that. I'm going to get my MIG booth set up. And then they have me another job to do here, one of their other hay rings. This place has been good to me. That actually brings me to my next point. I told the guy, I was like, how often you guys use this? And they said not very much, actually, maybe a few times a year. So I went ahead and guaranteed it for a year, man, because I don't like to walk away thinking in the back of my mind like, oh, that may break, because I mean, you guys know how aluminum is. So I get it guaranteed for a year. I said, if this breaks within a year, just call me and I'll sew it up. I don't live too far from here anyway. Anyway, let me get started. Oh, I want to show you guys. Now, when I normally get here in the morning, of course, I got the Guatemalan coffee ready to rock. That's the staple. You guys know that. Let me see if I can get a better light on the subject. Anyway, you guys know my staple, the Guatemalan coffee. I always set up my welding table, and I like to go ahead and get it level. So I bring out the level. Whether I use it or not, it just in my mind, I got to see it level.
I wanna touch you, like you've never been touched before, and I wanna love you too, till you just can't take anymore, and I want to fly high over wherever you are, and I wanna dive, come on, straight down into your heart. Now we can do it one way or the other, it don't matter to me. You tell them all that we're just friends, but then it's your family, and they won't believe you when they look in your eyes and see that love is in your heart, and your heart is always on your mind. Please, just try to put it behind you and me, or you can put your mind to believe me, baby, you're like the phoenix rising, and I just want to learn to fly too, cause I wanna touch you, hey, like you've never been touched before, and I wanna love you too, till you just can't take anymore, and I want to fly high over wherever you are, and I wanna dive, come on, straight down
What's up, dudes? All right, check it out. So I'll show you what I got grinded so far. I had to take a break. I got 3 more of the hinges to grind down, man, but there was so much. Now, what I'm doing, you guys got to check this shit out too. This is hilarious. I'm trying to save this grinder because I don't want, because look how small that is, guys. I've never done that. But I mean, this is for aluminum, and I used it on my toolbox and I broke it back out. And I mean, I've just over, the course of a year, I guess, grinded it down to almost nothing for aluminum. So now I got to, break out. Obviously, I'll need another one for aluminum in the future. But I mean, like most guys, I try to steer clear of aluminum unless I just, have to, or I need a job right then. And I needed a job, so that's why I'm doing this. Let me show you my setup. Got my argon bottle over here strapped to the trailer, so that way it doesn't fall over. So that way I can just plug it into the MIG there. But in order to offset the wind, you guys see my trailer, it opens up on the side, so I got the overhead, and I got a couple more blankets inside the truck to help if I need to, and some umbrellas. You can see the umbrella way over there on the other side. That's just to block the sun. God, let me turn the light down a little bit, but you can see I got blankets over the top there. Anyway, I strapped the blankets there to block some wind for when I'm welding with the spool gun. But honestly, guys, it's kind of windy today, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, I still believe with the wind and everything, it'll look better than the welds that were on there. But hey, who knows? I may end up just putting the same thing on there. But like I said, I'm guaranteed. Ooh, what is that? Sexy. But let me show you what I'm doing here. Obviously, I broke out the regular grinder. I can put a little bit more light on here. Oh, look at there. Too much. Anyway, I broke out the regular grinder, and I'm grinding it down to almost bare metal. Then I'm going to break out you can see it's almost there, right? I don't have it all off there. A little bit left on there. And then I'm going to break out the aluminum oxide flap disc. Get the rest of it off there, especially around here, man. I was kind of freaked out because I grinded off a little bit of that spring there. You can see a little bit of that one. I mean, I could, there's nowhere else for this to go. If I could move it down a little bit, I would, but there's nowhere else for it to go. I still haven't grinded that one off, but I grinded that one off. I mean, like I said, almost down. Then I'm going to break out the flap disc for the rest of it. I still got this one to go. Luckily, most of that's broken off. It would have been nice if it would have all broke off on there and I could have just grinded it off there, because having to hold these, I can't take them off, so I'm having to hold them with this and grind it with one hand. And then look at that, guys. Look at that. It's just a bunch of freaking poop in there. So there you go, guys. You see my chart up there? That's for the MiG 180. I decided to put it up there. So if you look here, here's aluminum wire spool gun, 100% argon, of course. And then if you go up the chart, wire diameter, you're looking at, that's at least 1/4 inch, 3/8 on that hinge. So I'm thinking more 3/8 to 1/2 inch on that hinge block. You saw it. So I'm going to go with, because it shows nothing. So I'm going to go with the highest settings on what it's got for 3/16, because I think that'll be a good middle ground. What the hell? For the thickness of these blocks, because that's probably 1/2 inch right there, 3/8, and then whatever the thickness of what it's welded to is only 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna go with the 3/16. 3/16 is what I meant. Guys, I should have worn my hat. I got damn aluminum flakes all over everything. That's one thing I hate about aluminum, man. When you're grinding, man, aluminum just goes everywhere. I mean, I know metal does too, steel, But aluminum just goes everywhere, man. It's hard to grind, and it folds over. It just feels like it's just like rolling over, and then you finally get the end of it off, and it feels like you're just getting nowhere. I mean, steel's way easier to work with. And it's just the flakes go everywhere, and they cover everything, and they're easier to see because they're bright, and just fucking everywhere, dude, everywhere. Anyway, I'm gonna take a little break. Normally I would have went all the way through that and went ahead and finished grinding and then took a break and then started welding, but man, it's just so much time I can spend on my knees, boys. God, that didn't sound right. It's just I'm too old to be on my knees that long. No, this is sounding good. You get what I'm saying? All right, guys, we're about to get back at it here. Grinding, man. That's the worst part. That's 90% of the job is prep and grind, prep and grind.
Town never looking down, so close to the edge. Sometimes I spill over just a little bit, but I can catch myself right before I get any closer to the ground. Rage, I feel this rage when you're not around. Like a random rage, I've come unbound, and all I can feel is hate. Why? Well, damn, I've asked myself a million times, but I get no reply, so I come unwound. I hate say it, but I just wanna die. Tired you can't breathe it. And I guess the best way for me to say goodbye is just not to say it.
All right, guys, I've got it all ready to rock. I need to clean it off with acetone, but I'll do that right before I weld it. I got to line up the door a little bit. On this end, it's lined up, and on that end it ain't. I'll show you what I mean. But you can see there's a space right there, so I'm gonna have to open this door and kind of, get it to where it lines up a little bit. Maybe put some pressure on the other side. But I got these things pretty clean. Down to bare metal. Like I say, I'm gonna put wipe some acetone over it. I didn't really, focus on this side much because it's the outside. It's not getting any weld, but I cleaned all the weld off. It wasn't hard to see where it was because it was pretty porous. And the sparks, when you saw sparks, there was actually some screws stuck in the middle of that, so that's actual steel. I guess they went through into the thing, but that's as far as it goes. You can see there's quite a gap in there. I mean, I'm pretty good at welding, but I can't feel a gap that big. Right, so I got all the off there, all that porous shit, and then got it down to bare aluminum on the sides and everything. I may have to go over some of it a little bit more, but it's time for first lunch, so let's get in there and do that. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's one of the owners. He's Australian. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's pretty funny. I can't see very well, but I hope you guys can see that. That's clean up after the hurricane from one pasture, he said, from the back pasture. Just all that fell off the trees and such. And there, as you can tell, there's not a lot of trees around, so that shit just blew around. Look at all those horses out there. What the hell are those two doing? Okay, interesting. What's going on here, guys? Don't let me interrupt what y'all are doing, but you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours kind of situation. Whoa. Guys, if you own your own business, if you're, even doing it on the side, man, get up some cards. That's the best way. A lot of people, do you have a website? No. You know what I mean? What do I fucking need a website for? What are you going to do? go there and order my services. Get out of here. No, I don't have a website. I got an Instagram page like everybody else. I don't even do Facebook anymore. You know, because, man, I ain't keeping up with both of them. And then TikTok, well, that's for kids. You know, I don't have a website, but cards, man. Cards and word of mouth. I mean, I'm not selling internationally. Like, if I had a product I was doing international, well, yeah. God dang, I must have got a piece of damn aluminum in my eye. If I was doing something international, well, yeah, I'd all day long, you know, have me a website, but I'm not doing anything international. I'm trying to do, you know, local. So locally, you need to damn get out there and hand out your card to your local area, your local neighborhood, and make sure everybody's got your card. Look, I walked into a place the other day, because I've been handing out cards the whole time, like right before the hurricane came. And I walked in a place and the guy said, "Oh yeah, you're that mobile welder, right?" Now, I've handed out 250 cards so far. Ha boys, I ain't fucking around. And I was like, "Oh yeah, how do you know?" And he said, "Yeah, you handed me a card all the way on the other side of town at York's or whatever." I don't know what that was. I've been in a lot of places, but this was a tool place, so maybe that was what it was. I was like, "Cool, man, yeah." So that guy remembered me, because now he's gonna remember me for sure, because I handed him 2 cards. These people here already got me another hay feeder to weld when I pulled up, and then they want me to fabricate a roller that goes on the back of their tractor, because having it shipped from where they make it is like $2 grand. So they told me, hell, if you charge 1,000, it'd be better off. So I was like, 1,000 it is. Nah, man, it probably won't be that much, but whatever. Ah, dang, man, I need to wash my fucking eye out. All right, guys, about to get ready to weld. I wanted to show you this janky shit. This is the grinding wheel. You ever had one that small? If you grind it down to that small, I use Makita. I get them like 25 of them for like 26 bucks online. But I was putting on I like to clean up before each job, like clean up this mess, all my grinders are put up, you know, things like that. I wanted to show you, well, I'll just show you while I'm over here. So I like to clean up all my grinders. Today I used the DeWalt and the Harbor Freight. I don't know if that's a Warrior or what. I can't remember. It was like 10 bucks. I use it with the flap disc usually, DeWalt with the grinder, the Makita with the cutoff, and then this Kawasaki with the wire wheel. But I lost the wrench. You can see this one I got, the Makita, I got it on the, you know, the plug. This one's up there. This one, I don't know. I think the Makita one fits it. But I lost the one to the DeWalt, and they're all different sizes, man. Every one of these is a different size. None of them fit each other. So what I did with the DeWalt in order to be able to use it was created this little contraption with the needle nose pliers and then this vice grip, weird flathead vice grip. Weird damn hammerhead shark vice grip. And it works pretty good. So there's a little idea for all you guys that want to do it up ghetto style. Anyway, let's get started on this welding. Alright guys, had to turn the generator off. I ran into a dilemma, which I saw it coming, and I think I might have a fix for it. But let me show you. Alright, so you can see I got one down here on this end welded. That's a damn good looking weld too, boys. The recommended settings were a little hot, but it melted in there. It wet her in real good. I might have to do some work on this one. It looks like it's got a little bit of a hole right there and there, and I don't know what the fuck I did over here. I think the wind was blowing. That's what was wrong over here. That makes sense. I'm gonna blame it on the wind. But I guarantee you, fuck it, if it breaks, I'll come back. But here's the deal. You can see how far that gap it is right there. I mean, that's a pretty big gap right there, especially right there in the middle. So obviously it's bowed from end to end. So what I'm gonna do, I don't know if you guys can see in here, I'm gonna get in here. There's a little thing that goes all the way down, a pole right here. Hopefully you can see it, I'll film it. I'm gonna get my Pittsburgh jack. I think it'll fit down in there. If not, I'll find something around here. And I'm gonna push it out. All right guys, wish I'd have known this before I brought that heavy ass Pittsburgh floor jack in here, because those things are heavy. You know, they make some new aluminum ones now at Harbor Freight, so I may check one of those out, because those things are heavy. Anyway, this pole right here is not stationary, it's movable. I don't know why, but it's not bolted to the ground or not. This side is. Oh, because it swings. Okay, so this side is, but that side's not. And I'm afraid if I try to put a jack on that, it's gonna bend that pole, and then I'm having to do another repair. I think they pay me for that. So let me show you what I got going on. Now this is more than likely why they broke in the first place, because this is bowed in. I was able to get two ends, you saw, but there's big gaps in the middle. Well, now that I've got it pulled down this far, the springs are holding it up. And you can see that there's no gap anymore. It'll actually touch it. But it is lined up. But I'm afraid if I weld it and then that's going to pull on it. I think that's what happened before. We're going to see. We're going to see how far aluminum will stretch. Now, if it bows back in, that's cool, but it won't be able to be closed for a while. So we'll weld it up and see what happens. First, I have to show you that weld again, boys. That shit looks good. Real good. Alright guys, I'm going to show you all 6 of these. Don't be mad at me. That was my first one. That one just kind of liquefied in. Oh shit. I didn't realize you can't see. That one looks pretty good. That one I got a little blowout on the end. I had to fill it up. Like I said, if it breaks, I'll come back. This one looks pretty good. God dang. And that one looks really good. You know, they don't look bad. That one had a blowout. That one looks good. That one looks okay. That one looks good. Right? Just one blowout. These hinge blocks are half-inch aluminum, and the wall is 3/16. Now I had it on what it said for 3/16, but I tried to keep it on that half-inch block the whole time going up through there. Most of the time I just kept that hiss going, but every once in a while it would sputter, and then I got lost on that corner trying to, I think I tried to hold on too long because I was, you know, I didn't want a crater with a hole in it that was going to propagate a damn crack all the way down that son of a bitch like the last one. Now mine wet in better than that other one, you could tell. Mine's a better profile. But I just had that blowout, man. I had it. So I sat there just like I'd do anything and fixed it. And then, you know, went and did something else for a second and then come back. So that one looks like shit. But hey, man, you gotta have a few that look like shit every once in a while, or you're not reminded that you're human. Oh, but it's fixed, and like I said, I guaranteed this one for a year, so you know, if it breaks, I'll come back up here. I'll be up here anyway. I mean, they're gonna have me doing something probably all the time. I gotta weld this other hay feeder. I don't know if you guys saw that. God, can you see it? Yeah, I gotta weld this other hay feeder before I leave anyway today. So we're gonna do it with the 6011 boys, 3/32. Just a little bit of tap and tap and tap. Well, guys, my phone went dead while I was working. I was going to show you guys how to fill holes on super thin pipe. Man, that shit looked good too. I closed it up like a butthole. Anyway, I'm home now. I'm going to call it a day. Look, my yard's messed up. I'll get you a video edited and then I'll do another video tomorrow. Anyway, see you tomorrow!